Hey guys, what's up? You're watching Clique, and today we're going to be looking at the new mouse from FinalMouse. We're going to be talking about the game as well. Something else that I also wanted to mention about the mice are that they are supposedly going to come in 3 different sizes, a small, medium, and large size. So that is something that could possibly help get the weight down, maybe on the absolute small size. They did figure out a way to get it to 37 grams, but it is pretty hard to believe that they got it that light with everything included, but we'll have to see. The fact that they are using a magnesium alloy though, as far as durability goes, that is very promising, and I think that it will help overall, making sure that the mouse does not have any creaking or any of those types of issues. I think it is pretty genius that they did use a very light structural metal to make the mouse, so I will give them credit where credit's due as far as their innovation and what they've done on that front. Also, I am curious to see what type of latency speeds that they're offering, because we are seeing mice now like the Atom Pulp Hydrogen mouse that I saw Linus Tech Tips do a video on that has an 8,000 Hz pulling rate, and that is very good. I also saw leaks of like a Viper AK mouse as well. We are getting mice now that are having those extremely low latencies, and if they have a latency that is at that level or even faster, then that would just be insane. Yeah, I don't know what the fastest latency is. They aren't even specifying that, so we'll just have to see what happens with that. Also, with the 2-month battery life, I don't see any RGB on this mouse. It doesn't look like I have any, so I could see that. That's definitely something that I think is the easiest claim to believe, even though it is hard to get a really high battery life on some of these mice. I think since there is no RGB, and if they just have a large enough battery into the mouse, which again does add extra weight, but if they are able to do that, then that would be amazing, because we have seen mice with battery lives of about 2 months, and there's a mount like the G305 having an insane battery life, although that does use a AA battery. That is possible, and I think that that's something that they could definitely do. As for the designs, I think my favorite mouse is the black mouse, is probably my favorite. Then I think the gold is my next favorite. Then I think I like the white, and then last is the red. I don't know, the red it just looks weird with like that metal finish. I don't know, it's just not really my thing, but I think the black definitely looks super good. And then the gold also does, even though it looks a little tacky. I don't know, but I know they're going for like that Greek god theme, that whole Zeus, Hades, Poseidon thing. So I think that's pretty cool. And also the white one looks pretty clean as well. So if I could get one, I'd get the black. If not, gold, white, then red. But I do like the design. It is very different, since it does have like that kind of Greek god, aim gods theme that they're going for with their game and stuff. So that is pretty cool. And as far as the game, there are so many strategies that you can come up with, as far as team combos, abilities, using your abilities to like knock players into AoE attacks, using stuns, doing damage debuffs, using escape abilities. There are a lot of different things you can do in the game, although like I said, it is only one mode, so it can get pretty repetitive. But if you work out changing out abilities in your kit and just working out different combos with your team, because really how the way I look at it is, even though each player only has 7 abilities, since you're working as a team and you really have to work together, and I definitely do not recommend solo queuing in this game, because it is just basically asking to D-rank. If you can rank up by solo queuing, then you are just a different breed. But in my opinion, from my experiences, I would not recommend solo queuing. But the way I look at it is, as a team, you have 14 abilities, and you have to use those 14 abilities with your teammate pretty much in unison, and just work together to get the best possible kit as a whole, the best possible ability skill set package that you can have with your team, and just take down the other team while also making sure that your team is not losing health, dying, and getting debuffed like crazy. As far as like the meta in the game, I really don't know what the meta is. It seems like there really isn't a meta, and something that I saw someone tweet about was that there really is no best kit in the game. It's more of a rock, paper, scissors type of situation, where sometimes you'll already be at a disadvantage just because of what you have in your ability kit. Sometimes you'll be at an advantage, and sometimes you'll be in a type of stalemate, and it really comes down to adapting, overcoming, and just figuring out how to beat the team you're playing, since you can't see who you're facing before you get into the match with them. So they don't know what you're going to use, you don't know what they're going to use, and if they have abilities that are going to counter what you have, you kind of just have to figure out a way to counter what they're doing to counter your ability kit. So I think there is a lot of strategy and communication that's involved. And one thing that I will say to FinalMouse's credit, because I do want to give people credit where it's deserved, is that I think besides like endgame Fortnite, this is probably the most communication I've ever had to have with a teammate, as far as like the fact that once the match starts, we are constantly talking, calling stuff out, strategizing, adapting, and just trying to figure out how we can take down the team in front of us, more than like any other game that I've played, besides maybe like endgame Fortnite and like tournaments that I've seen and stuff. There's a lot of communication, and that's just from my own personal experiences. You might differ, you might think completely different, that's all good, but like I think with this game there's a lot of communication that goes on. It is fun at times, and it can be really fun, or it can be really frustrating. It really just comes down to what you are looking for and what you're trying to do.